welcome to Coolin Out. This is Coolin Out. We'll see you next week. Stay boo.
We recording now. Welcome back to Coolin Out.
Cav?
Sal?
Rel. I don't like that one.
Which one?
I don't like that one.
Alright.
I mean, we're gonna keep it though. But it definitely didn't feel right.
Alright, it felt
We rusty.
Caught off guard.
Chalk it up to rust.
Yeah.
We chalk it up.
Yeah, we haven't done an episode amongst ourselves.
Nah, we haven't done that Kev Sour thing in a minute either.
Yeah, we just been jumping in on them.
I know. Just, hey, what up? We talking already. Ah, man. So how's your week been? Catch up?
Week's been good. Weekend was work. Caught up with some old friends in Brooklyn, which was really nice.
You Brooklynites now.
Yeah, man. All in. Just been a lot of work and got back into the gym finally. Really just been chill. Had an intense weekend, so I'm just laying low.
Gotcha. What about you?
So, it was good. My dad's birthday was Tuesday. It was his 21st birthday, apparently.
You got lit like that?
Yeah, OD lit. OD lit. I didn't know if he taking a grown man home, but I did. But he had fun. You know, he smoked his weed and then he had drinks after. He had shots actually too.
Oh, nah.
Thinking about it. Hennessy.
Shots of Henny?
Henny. 2.
What day was this?
Tuesday. Got the club going up.
I have a holiday or a PTO.
He was lit.
You want to see me the next day?
He didn't have work the next day, which was good.
Oh, okay. That makes sense because I wouldn't have made it.
Word. Nah, I don't know how he survived like that.
God bless him.
He woke up Wednesday as if he's like, nothing, I'm just, I'm gonna just smoke again. And I was like, alright, okay, alright. I guess, but other than that, saw Black Panther again randomly on a Sunday.
I don't blame you.
And it was random because I just got home, I saw my nieces, and I was like, yo, I gotta want to see it again. Went, looked online, sold out in like 3 places. So I said, let me try one more. I found 1 ticket left, and I ended up just going.
Good man.
It was so good.
Blame you.
I ain't gonna lie, I saw it on Tuesday with my girl, and I want to support multiple songs. I just can't. I love it, but like the first thing I told her, I was like, yo, I can't wait for the
DVD.
No. I can't wait for them to have a copy online. So I can watch it.
I was trying to keep it
We're not HD yet.
I saw a couple of cam quality trash.
I seen that.
I tried too.
I said, nah. I want to watch it again though. It was amazing. Phenomenal film.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
We'll get back.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. My week has been good. My boss is out of the country, so
Shout out to all the bosses out.
a little light week for me.
That's good.
Light week. I moved this past weekend.
Woo!
Welcome.
That was a little hectic, but we finally got that taken care of. So now it's just like getting the apartment situated. Definitely happy with the apartment though. Definitely happy. I already see some shit going down this summer. Like it's gonna be a lot of moves made this summer. Took yesterday off from work, so I'm feeling refreshed.
You still have some glow about
I
you,
know.
man. Some
I feel
glow.
refreshed. I just literally just like laid around all day, and then I went to go find a barber. Found one. The hoodest nigga on the earth.
For real?
The hoodest nigga on earth.
How'd you go about finding a barber?
Just walked into one. I ain't gonna lie. I did the white people thing. I got on Yelp and such things. I googled best black barbers and best style.
Best black
Then you know the funny thing about it was I saw this barbershop like a couple blocks down the way from me, and on Yelp it said Yelp has reported this location is permanently closed. And I happened to walk down there, so I was going to the supermarket, and this shit was open.
That's who you ended up going with?
And I wanted to tell them, like, yo, y'all know y'all on Yelp that's permanently closed. But I didn't tell them. There's too many yo B's and sons, and I saw a lot of do-rags, Kev.
Okay.
And multiple colors.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
A couple of lavender do-rags. I said, oh.
That's in now.
I said, oh.
Silky smooth do-rag
I
is
said,
in
this is
now.
bringing this back out now.
Silky smooth.
Felt completely out of place. But it was cool. I didn't feel out of place. I'm joking. But like, it was just like funny and interesting.
That's your guy now?
That's my guy. That's my guy for now. I have no loyalty when it comes to barbers.
Yeah.
Someone come along with a better price and some better clippers.
Dude,
No loyalty, yeah.
Might see me on the way, be like, yo, what happened? Damn, I started cutting my own hair. I started telling my own
What
hair.
do you mean with it, dog?
But nah, I mean, that's really just been my week. Just like relaxing, trying to settle into the apartment. But yeah, let's get back to Black Panther. Because
So much.
first of all, it's a phenomenal film. Let me start from the beginning because
Wakanda.
I saw it so late. I just saw it this past Tuesday. And normally, you know, when people like when there's so much hype around a film, I'm looking for negatives. Like I'm walking in, I'm like, yo, there's no way hell this shit can be that great.
Yeah.
And the entire time I'm just sitting there like, wow. And my girl telling me shut up, I keep nudging her like, yo, this shit's great. Like you watching this? And she keeps telling me like, yo, just watch the film. Like, yeah, it is good, but phenomenal.
It's surprising.
Yeah.
It's surprising. Because, you hear all the hype. Even, like, before it came out, I think, like, a week or two before, they started letting out early reviews about it. Every headline, just first Marvel masterpiece, classic movie. And I'm just like, I thought I was thinking about Get Out again.
Yeah. But I still don't understand that film like that.
So I was just like, but I just kept consuming more and more, just, like, terrific reviews. I was just like, all right. I'm gonna find time over this. I packed a lot into my President's Day weekend. I was like, I gotta find a window into this because if this is ruined for me, I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And I took my girl. She's not a superhero fan, and we loved it.
Yeah, me neither. And that's why I'm not into. I think I said this on the podcast before. Like I'm not really into Marvel nor Capcom. I'm not like into that like action hero movies. I've literally probably seen like one more Marvel film outside of Black Panther.
Let's not discuss that yet.
That's another discussion for another day. But like I never seen Avengers, Captain America, none of those things. I never seen it. I hear great things about it though.
If this mic wasn't that expensive, I would drop it. Because that's crazy.
Never seen them, but great film. Yeah. All the underlying layers and meanings behind things. I was just like, shit. It's definitely one of the films I can see why people have gone and seen it multiple times. I'm sure you watch things, and I'm sure there's things I missed the first time around that I'll probably catch the next and the time after that and after that. But you know, great film, beginning to end.
Yeah, and summarizing it as just a superhero movie just doesn't do it justice.
No,
because even my girl, she was like, I don't like superheroes. I'm not gonna spend the money just to see special effects. So after 2.5 hours later and a couple tears later,
tears were included too.
I told you, sniffles on her part. I'm like, did you like it? She was like, yeah. And I was like, you wouldn't have paid to see this because it would have been classified as quote unquote a superhero movie. We see that doesn't do it justice. It's way more than that.
Yeah.
The themes in it were crazy to me. One of the things I caught, I don't know if I told you, Kev, was it felt like The Lion King to me, like a Lion King film.
In what sense?
Mufasa is the main dude in the king, right? In Lion King. Mufasa
Simba's
is
the main dude. Chill on that.
my bad.
Mufasa in there for
Mufasa
10 minutes.
a secondary
Had to let him
character.
go.
Yeah.
But basically, like, the father, we already know the story between his father and stuff from Civil War, but, like, Mufasa dies, he puts Simba in charge to become king, but then Scar comes and takes over, thinks Simba's dead, tries to do mad shit, and then, like, Simba basically comes back, and then him and Scar have a face-off while, like, everybody else is fighting in the background. It just felt like real, like it just reminded me of Lion King. I don't know if it was done on purpose, but... And then with the whole Africa setting and the sun, and he like watches the sun go down, and the villain was like Michael B. Jordan. Killmonger is my favorite character, but that's something I peeped. I don't know if it was true or not.
I was in the theater, right, and I went to the Regal right here in Union Square. A bunch of white women and like old white folks there. And yet still, that scene when he's taking off his shirt when they're about to fight, and he's talking about, I've killed in Iraq, I've killed da. I'm like, I'm looking around like, yo, happy y'all over 55, like, ooh,
that seat was getting hot.
But no, I think another theme, I don't know if it's a theme or like something interesting I took from it was how the Wakandans how the Wakandans like had all this vibranium, but in a sense like all of this like economic wealth and sustainability, and they were keeping it to themselves, in a sense, and not even just like within our black community, but it reminded me of capitalism in the sense of like how the United States is set up and how like the very select few have all of these resources, you know, and it's like they refuse to share with people because they're afraid that if they share it, then they're gonna lose the worth or the value of what it is. But in that instance, I guess the Wakandas were doing it because they didn't want to expose themselves.
And you attract the evil and the negative.
Yeah, and you attract the evil and the negative, but they didn't want to expose themselves. Yeah. And have their resources taken from them. But it was just like such an interesting like film, and I was like, damn. It's like so much we could take from that, and I kind of wish black people like lived like that, like where even if it was like a secret like society type thing, like how it was there, where you know the rest of the world thought Wakanda was a very like impoverished nation, and like they had all these resources and wealth amongst themselves. Yeah, it was just like damn, it was like such a powerful scene,
and that's what made Killmonger so compelling because he had great points, but his like execution was just way too but his points were like very valid.
Very valid. Like when he first was making his points, I was like, damn, that makes sense. Like, why are they holding all this to themselves? Like, what about everyone?
Kill them all. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, kill them all. Give them the weapons. Put the vibranium out there in the world. And I was like, oh, all right, you doing too much.
He said, we're send a couple packs of here. I was like, all right.
Nah, that is true too. I like too the fact that, like, I don't know. I mean, I had a sense of pride, like being dark skinned. Like, not even like, I'm not gonna say my family. Like, we're not full African American, but I felt like a sense of like, I felt powerful a little bit to be the color skin that I am, or look the way that I look after coming out. And like, people were dressed up with like the dashikis and shit, and like the scarves. I was like, yo, I haven't seen this since the African festival, like when I was young in Co-op City. They were great.
Not me, I got brunch after this. I feel it.
Nah, you felt the culture and like you wanted to be that. Like I don't remember feeling like that in any movie I seen ever.
No, without question. Like you see the money it's made. It's made I think like 750 million worldwide already. It's not even come out of Russia, China.
That's
like
insane.
For real?
Yeah, the worldwide already 750. I think domestically 400. Like it's gonna. By this week be like the third highest Marvel. So yeah. And what's this? It's like third week it's gonna be?
Third.
So
I see that shit again. I'll pay $10 to see it.
I'll wait.
I also like too the women in the film. Like the way the women were badass.
Very
like
strong.
And like I don't know if you guys peep, so like Killmonger had no respect for women throughout the whole movie. Like, shot his girl in the head.
Yo.
Like, no remorse. And then he's over here fighting all the women in the end, like, murdering them and about to kill his sister. I thought he killed her.
Yeah.
Until when he was about, I was about to be sad. She's one of my favorites. But that part was crazy, too.
Yeah, seeing how he got to that point was just, like, very interesting as well.
Great
storytelling.
Writing was
great. Writing.
And we were texting about the when he goes in the ancestral plane and sees his father. Michael B. Jordan sees his father. Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
And he was like, basically, you're not gonna cry for me. And he was like, everybody dying is basically a regular thing. And I was just like, woo!
Yeah.
I turned to my father. I heard the sniffles. I had to hold something back myself. I was just like. And then they both started crying. It was just so much strong scenes.
So many scenes.
Killmonger, I think this was probably the best villain like I've seen.
I would agree.
They have terrible villains in their movies. Like you don't feel like Civil War. They took a villain and made him like a little ass guy, like who basically ruined.
And it's like who the good one? Got like Loki, maybe. Overall.
And the end fight. Oh, and when they both were fighting in the Underground Railroad. Did you keep that? I was like, yo, that's crazy. It was done too. The graphics were dope. Like when he jumped over those when the dudes was like blocking him and he jumped over them and then released the energy and then they all flew.
Oh yeah, the kinetic energy.
And then he's fighting the damn ship, like running around and throws the spear. I was like, yo.
Yeah, when he Michael B. Jordan talks about how his father tells him about the sunsets in Wakanda. He's like, boy running around Oakland. Basically, it's a fantasy. It's just another strong performance.
So dope. But I think also seeing the movie made me appreciate the album more.
Oh, that's another thing too.
Yes.
I listened to it again and I was like,
Yeah.
Tell me before, I thought it was good, obviously, but like, I just have this very profound appreciation for the album now, because now I have the imagery of the movie with it, and even watching the movie and they played some of the songs in the background, I'm like, oh shit, alright. So it's been there.
Yeah, it's my phone was a shock, but I don't really re-listen to new albums that often.
No? What'd you say?
I don't really re-listen to new albums at all, like constantly. Like I play various tracks. There's so many.
I didn't like the Weeknd song at first, but they kept playing the doo-doo-doo-doo like throughout the whole movie, and I was kind of like,
That's my shit.
Now I listen, that's so good.
I was on the treadmill last night. Like that last little 40 seconds when it's just the Weeknd.
Yeah.
I was like, put the show to 9. Put the speed up.
Real quick for 40 seconds. That's really funny. Or like when Killmonger becomes king, all I hear is like, miss me with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that, the King is Dead song.
Mm.
Oh man, that album did number one again, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have an article. I didn't read it yet. They're already talking about Black Panther 2 and doing music for it.
TV again? Salute to Kendrick.
I wonder who'd be the new villain in Black Panther 2.
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Or you know.
Oh. Sorta. I was sort of telling you. I sort of told Kat what's gonna happen.
You like highly believe it, so this is definitely gonna happen.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
Especially tell the world.
Killmonger's gonna come back.
How?
He gets brought back to life, and you don't see his body. Like you don't know if he left his body there or not. Like if he was thrown over the river.
Oh, that was another one. That was the one.
You don't know where his body is.
That was
you know
the
how
one.
Marvel be doing shit. Like they be bringing people back and shit.
When he was like, we can save you, we have the technology to save you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was just like, shit.
I'd rather be buried with
It's like throw me in the ocean with my ancestors. Oh.
Yeah, but then the thing about that is if they could bring Killmonger back, then why wouldn't if they had technology to bring him back from the dead, right? Why wouldn't he bring back his father?
It's not them that's
So
gonna
then
bring
he
him
definitely
back.
better than bondage.
Duh. But no, it's not. In the comic books, like, alright, I'll just say a little bit. Iron Man, you never seen Iron Man?
Just tell me.
There's a bad guy in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, I think, that he basically gets he has like these weird powers that he brings back Killmonger.
Oh, Mandarin?
The Mandarin. He brings him back. And there's been times too where like Killmonger tries to be the fake Black Panther. Like he tries to act like him. So it's gonna have to. I think they're gonna bring him
Wait,
back.
this is affiliated with Iron Man?
All Marvel's
they all interact with each other.
They at one like they have these things called graphic novels where like let's say Kev loves certain superheroes, he could make a thing with X-Men, Wolverine, and Spider-Man because they're all under the same entity. So like they have I think Black Panther first came out in the Fantastic Four, the first issue.
Oh yeah. See, I have no idea about none of the history behind this. I just went to see the movie.
I've read some of them.
Did you stay for the post credits?
I did.
You did.
Okay,
I did. First of all, you know I didn't know. I stood up and then my girl grabbed me. She was like, no, Marvel movies, they was just like that.
Oh, you got a real one. You got a real one.
I said, what?
Shout out to the missus.
So a couple people leaving though.
Okay.
But you had to play. I had to play it over at the stand. Sit down, cross my legs like I was just trying to get more comfortable.
That's true.
I
I
told
like
my lady, don't budge.
You stay.
Even at the front, like really, don't budge.
There'll be something there.
Yes.
But that end of the speech.
Yeah.
They was like, what do you have to offer us? He's like,
Loved it.
Or there was another one too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you stay for the second one?
It's okay. It happened. It happened. Well, that one's less important because that had nothing to do with the movie. That's more like advancing the plot for what's coming in Civil War in May, which they can have
April.
April
27.
Oh.
They moved it up.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can have
No.
I'm so hyped.
What's Civil War now?
The culmination of, to summarize, we're now in phase 3. Phase 1 started with Iron Man back in 2008.
Okay.
Kevin Feige, the executive producer of Marvel Films, set out to set up a Marvel Cinematic Universe in which he introduced various superheroes such as Iron Man, 3 movies, Captain America, 3 movies, Thor, 3 movies, the Hulk, 1 movie, but a recurring character, and a bunch of other superheroes, such as last year bringing in Spider-Man,
Strange,
Ant-Man, Doctor Strange.
Ant-Man number 2 is coming out. So.
Oh, that's good too.
And the Winter Soldier, but basically this entire 18 films now with Black Panther has been culminating with the Civil War, because Thanos is coming from space, and this is where you should take it, because he has these things called Infinity Stones, and when you have 5 of them,
they turn, so basically like he has the power to destroy anything.
in Guardians of the Galaxy, sorry.
In Guardians of the Galaxy. So like in the beginning of all these Marvel movies, they never once explained like aliens, monsters, like it was all like how the Batman movies were, strictly real, like it could possibly happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they started bringing out the space factor, basically the bad guy is having control of all the problems in Marvel's movies. Like he's having a hand. I think one of the stones he has can manipulate ideas or minds.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his hand in all these movies. He's basically the puppeteer. He's the puppeteer in this. And the Big Bang is this movie. This is basically why everything has happened in all these Marvel villain movies is because of this one guy.
And you're gonna see everybody through these, every single body, even people that haven't even interacted before. Like Thor meets the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, so if you're, and I'm just a movie head. I'm not even a comic head, but I've like seen all the movies. So when you see all these interactions,
You've seen all these movies?
also yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're all good. At worst, they're entertaining. And there's some really good, like
worst.
Avengers, Civil War, Captain 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But there's already a Civil War out?
Sorry, yeah, this is Infinity War. I'm sorry. Coming up is Infinity War. To reference the Infinity Stone. Civil War was a play on a story in the comics where, due to the various fights from the enemies they influence. Oh, well, in the movies, like they do so much damage fighting the bad guys, the government thinks they have to regulate them. Iron Man is on the side of regulation. Like he thinks they definitely, and Captain America's like, no. Like, even though we do all this damage, it's for a good cause, and the government's gonna ruin things. So this causes dissent, and
and then they have a war.
It's still on Netflix.
But then they have a war amongst themselves.
Yes, it's so good. It's still on Netflix.
What's on Netflix? Civil War.
Civil War.
I watched it.
I watched it last night, and then I saw the Infinity War.
Alright, wait. So it's called Civil War.
Butterfly.
Let me add it to my list now.
I'm telling you.
About Jarel got to
It's
catch
so-
up.
No, I'm an old head because like if shit ain't on my list, I'll forget about it because I gotta see shit on my list.
Nah, he's about to catch up for this.
I
I don't got time for no goddamn 15 movies now.
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
Civil War, right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Black Panther came up too, and everyone loved his character.
You'll see scenes like the black and white scenes where his father dies.
Yeah.
That's Civil War.
Yeah.
That starts Civil War. Like that's how they right.
Yeah. If they hadn't taken Winter Soldier off Netflix, I would have recommended that too. But yeah, Civil War.
It's right on my list.
Nah, but these
I'll watch it sometime this weekend. Maybe Saturday morning when I'm doing shit.
they're good, man. It makes me wonder what's gonna happen. Like, especially with movies, because now movies are trying to create the cinematic universe, like how Marvel's done it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't know what else could like. How can you always? I don't know when they top something. I'm always like, how can you beat this movie? And then they come out with like Black Panther. I thought it was gonna be trash. I wasn't feeling it. I was like, yo, too many people are talking about this movie.
That shit was
I'm tired of it.
It's commendable.
It really is.
Like he said this in 2008, what he's like ultimately trying to do now a decade later. There's so much things that has to go right. Like if the first Iron Man tanks, this doesn't happen. If the subsequent 16 films tank, and these aren't major superheroes, right?
Making off of this shit. He must.
Cumulative?
Yeah. He's
over billions.
Yeah.
Like 10, 15 billion?
Yeah,
Shit.
he's done things.
Oh my goodness.
He's done
So much money. About $10 to $30 billion. Like when you add up the gross worldwide, all together for all 18 films.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. It's exciting.
And they just acquired the rights because they did the merger with Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the rights now to superheroes like X-Men and like pretty much everyone. So they can have like true comic book, because they were limited with what they owned. Marvel was limited with the rights they own. Like I don't think Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, are those your A superheroes? Those your go-to?
Those are their go-to. Like Iron Man was like Spider-Man was their go-to, but they couldn't.
And they didn't have the rights until recently.
Or X-Men.
So who made the prior Spider-Man movies?
Sony.
Oh.
And then
yeah, right. They not real. No, there's a couple good ones, but now it's like the way they did it.
But now Marvel has access to all these characters,
and they did it right.
You didn't see Spider-Man: Homecoming?
You know the funny thing? No, because I got tired of seeing all these Spider-Man movies.
Oh, that's good.
But the Spider-Man: Homecoming is a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll check it.
Michael Keaton.
Thor Ragnarok. I read that's the last one because Disney's launching their own streaming services. So Ragnarok is the last one that's going to be on Netflix. And then after that, no more. Because Disney's going to obviously keep them for themselves. But when that's on Netflix, you should check that out.
Who's going to subscribe to a Disney service?
I mean, when you factor in all the superhero movies and the past Star Wars, Lion King, all the past catalogs, they don't make bread.
People don't know about this online. At $3.99. I can't see myself subscribing just to a Disney thing. But I guess I understand that people who are actually like who are comic book heads and like Marvel heads, they'll subscribe to it if they want to see all their movies.
Yeah, I'm not though. I'm gonna go online. Thor Ragnarok is a great copy online if anybody.
Oh yeah, that's on HD online. Hilarious. That's another.
You know, Storm 2 is.
Do you have to watch the other ones before you watch the?
No, that's the great thing about it. That's the great thing. You don't. You could just hop in and no. That's the great thing. It helps. Like you just pick up on little things, like little references. Like even in Black Panther, she's like, "You're the second white boy I gotta fix." Like if you've seen the previous films, you know who she's referencing. It's like little things, but it helps, but it's not necessary.
Who is she referencing when she said that?
Winter Soldier.
Captain America's best friend.
Oh.
I think
because that went right over my head. People were chuckling. I was like, "It's the only white boy I seen in this film."
Yo, for real. That's so true.
And you know, too, Storm from X-Men, her and Black Panther are like lovers. So like, if they had the rights, you would have saw Storm in this movie as like Black Panther's love interest instead of Lupita, which probably would have been nice to fit the X-Men in there. But there's a lot like they could have played on, and they can't really do.
But I'm confused. So if Marvel had all these characters together in comic books, why don't they have their rights for movies?
Well, now they do.
But why didn't they?
Because Fox had them.
Yeah, they weren't making movies, so like the comic book sales they was only making money through comic books. No one was really like
rights to Fox, basically.
They made their money. Right. That's how they made their money. Like the Fox was like, "We'll buy it off of you," and then Sony was like, Sony wanted to do a Spider-Man movie, so they gave him a price, and Sony was like, "Bet, like we'll do it," not realizing that they can actually make their own movies. Like the guy that Kevin was talking about actually made them want to continue making and funding the movies.
And then Sony saw how well they were doing and was just like, you do the Spider-Man movies. Because theirs was cool.
Yeah.
But I guess they weren't completely satisfied.
That's why, you know, the thing about it, I was like so oblivious to the fact that the Homecoming, the Spider-Man Homecoming one was a Marvel one. I literally was just like, yo, why do they keep making all these Spider-Man movies? Yeah. And that's why I didn't watch it. I was like, yo, how many times can you tell the same story over and over again?
Well, that's a good thing.
That's it.
Because they assume you know the story and they execute it properly. Like
I'll watch it then. I got a lot of film schedule on shit.
Because it's not like even a regular Spider-Man movie. Like, he's actually young. He's not some old ass dude. Like, he going to college. Like, you see, Mary Jane isn't even in it. Like, you don't even really see her. Or
good, because I got tired of Kirsten Dunst
Damn, she was only there 3 times. But yeah, nah. Are you gonna see Infinity War?
You might, you should just check out some.
When does it come out?
April 27.
I got time to watch
Yeah,
Civil War. I watch Civil War.
Watch Civil War.
It's on my Netflix list, so I'll definitely watch it. Go on the YouTube.
Go on the YouTube.
Oh man.
Go on the YouTube.
And with your highest HD setting, type in Infinity War trailer. And just sit back after Civil War. Then you want to mail them your money. I know I did.
Alright, let's go. We all go together then.
Oh, don't do this.
We out.
What?
We out.
We out. We out.
I'm committed now.
Wait, bro, you gonna get tickets for the 27th?
Well, you already got tickets already?
No, I didn't. They're pre-sale already?
I think said you mailed them in. What the hell you talking about?
And I would have.
Oh.
He got another side of his table, his dining room table with the bread.
Go my girl purpose.
Snatching KBC kept open the bread. We just take the money.
I'll take this.
Thank you, babe.
Still love you, babe.
Oh man.
Alright.
Alright, let's go. I got until April to watch it, and it's on my Netflix list. That means I watch it because I'm like literally as soon as I turn on my Netflix, like I have my list pop up so I can see what things I want to watch. I'll check it out.
Whatever. Shout out to Black Panther.
Alright, bet. Also, want to talk about Nipsey. Well, we want to talk about Nipsey Hussle album.
Yeah, you text our group chat, and you were just, I was just, alright, this is trash. Yeah, I played it down to the bonus track. 16 tracks. You know 16. My attention span.
Them bonus tracks are
so fire from top to bottom.
I never heard a Nipsey album before. I remember you was talking about it on the last episode we did.
Yeah.
And I never heard one. I completely forgot this shit. He could actually rap. I thought he was like a Crip YG. Like,
I remember you guys when we did our first best of with Carl.
Mm-hmm.
That was high on I think you and his list.
Yeah. When we did the best of.
Carl went ham. He was like that was in like top 5.
Yeah.
He was going in. I've always been a Nipsey fan, but like I didn't think he had this in him.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh yeah, I fuck with his music. When he dropped the album, I always listen to them. It wasn't just like he wasn't like oh my favorite rapper, nothing like that. I was like, yo, his music is cool. I'll check it out. Make some good music. But something about this album, I'm at work and I had one headphone in, and that's when I had to put 2 in, and I forgot where the fuck I was. Had 2 in, just like rapping, yo nigga.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, yo. But now the album just like it goes in, and I was proud for him. I was happy for him. I was like, damn, this album go in.
Yeah.
That's why I texted y'all. I was like, yo, listen to this album.
Listen to Young Nigga.
Yeah. I was like, listen to Young Nigga first. Then listen to the rest of this shit. But nah, that album goes in. I fuck with Hustle and Motivate. That's my shit.
Dedication.
Yeah, them 2 bonus tracks though.
Wait,
I was just like, wow.
Does Apple Music have those bonus tracks? Because I was trying to figure out if
I don't know. I know Spotify did.
Spotify definitely got them. My girl currently subscribed to that free title, so they got them too.
Wait, I only have Right Hand of God.
That's one of them.
What's the other
And
one?
Double Up with Belly.
Oh, I heard that one though.
Yeah, Right Hand of God is my shit though. But yeah, fucking great album.
Yeah. And it's true to the word.
Yeah.
I like it's very motivational. Like, and did you guys see his Breakfast Club interview?
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
The story he told. Was it the Breakfast Club where he was like, he basically got I think it was where he got signed, but the day he signed the record label, he was also arrested. So he really needed the money in order for him to fight the trial he was on, and if he didn't sign the deal, he wouldn't have been able to get out of jail.
Yeah.
That he got arrested. I think he went away to celebrate, and when he came back, dudes was at his house like arresting him. And he had to hire like the lawyer and stuff through the advance money he got. And he beat it. So if it wasn't for all that, him getting signed and stuff, he wouldn't be making this album. I thought that put more context to it too. Like Victory Lap, like you've been really hustling to get this out.
Wait, he got signed to Atlantic and then got arrested? This is recent then.
Yeah, because apparently he was signed before and then
to Epic,
and then
No, that's the one he was referencing.
That
was
first
signed
one.
with Epic.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because he got money now.
No.
Also, it was Epic.
First record deal.
Because he was still in the streets then.
And that's when he was doing what was those little mixtapes? Like it was like a series of them.
Once he sold for 100.
It was that was
Marathons,
yeah. And he was talking about how like he started out that way, and then he went back to the independent route. Like he didn't want to be signed anymore, and then basically he started going hard. I thought that was super fire.
I ain't gonna lie, his album I listened to is just so inspiring. Cause it's like this month, you really made millions by yourself, like just on your own sweat and equity, like just believing in yourself. You made millions.
He invested.
And when he says that in the songs, I'm just like, damn, you really made millions. Like just doing you basically, not relying on the industry, nothing. Just made millions. I just that shit like, damn, I gotta make some moves. I'm like, remember I said to y'all like, nah, you gotta do this. We gotta do this. I was like, shit, this motherfuckers is really out here just making money, just doing it on their own. I mean, granted, I knew that, you know, but when you hear someone just saying it and you know they actually did it, it's just so inspiring. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. And he had no one, like, I remember he kept reverberating that he had no cosign, like, from no hip-hop artist. He wasn't signed to a label. He wasn't on no coattail. He was just, like, just doing it on his own streets, and that's it. That was commendable.
Very commendable.
On his part.
Damn.
Yeah. And what else? He was also talking about, too, how, like, and I like what he said, like, the Cardi B situation.
Oh, about the gangs?
And that, like, checking in is basically, like, friendly extortion. And it's like, you shouldn't be having to check in. Like, he was shooting gems out. Like, you shouldn't be having to check in. You know, you have your people, but, like, to say stuff like that, you know, you just got to watch your mouth when you say certain things. Because you can't say everything and get away with it. I thought that was real. Like, he didn't bash Cardi, but he was just like, you know, if you're saying all that, you got to be prepared for the consequences. Like, it's not a game out here. Like, people die for this.
It's so funny because I look at him and he did tell he ain't lifted a weight
in his life, right?
He ain't lifted a weight. Real boy, skinny as hell. Remind me of Snoop, like as far as like their bodies are just skinny, but you just still wouldn't fuck with them. Like, I remember when Charlamagne called Lauren London fat or mentioned that she was gaining weight. It was like 1 or 2 years ago. Came back on the radio the next day and turned that whole story 180.
For real?
Said Nick called him. Flipped that shit all the way around.
Damn, I didn't know.
He admitted it on the air. He was like, yeah, you know, I talked with him, da-da-da. And he told me this, da-da-da, and as you know, I realized I was wrong. And flipped that shit around.
Yeah. Hey, I would do it too.
Carlos could provide a lot of clarity.
Word. I'm trying to go to LA and live peacefully. I love it. We can all coexist.
But nah, that album is dope.
Yeah, that album is fire.
Yeah, that and Black Panther in like the same month. I don't know if it's back-to-back weeks, but the same month is very encouraging.
So far, so good.
That's what I wanted to ask y'all. Were y'all surprised at his sales?
Nip? What was his sales?
55, I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 30 from traditional, 23 from streams, and then 2 from singles adding up to albums.
I was initially, especially when they got the Tekashi 6ix9ine supposed to be like 60.
Gummo.
Did he do it?
I don't even know.
He might be, that's all, but he also has a hit though.
Yeah. And then like out of the 55, 34 was like people actually went to the stores. It's not streaming. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that makes more sense.
He has a loyal fan base though. He has a very loyal fan base. That's another thing too. It's like I was surprised initially. I was shocked. I was like, damn, that's all he sold. But then I thought about it on a deeper level, and I was like, a lot of people on a mainstream level don't really know him.
Yeah.
Like people don't really know him. Like I know Nipsey just because like, you know, I actually listen to rap music, but even then, I didn't know that his album was coming out until like 2 days before. I was like, oh shit, Nipsey's dropping. Like, it's not something like I would go to his IG page or something like that. I just happened to randomly Google like Nipsey Hussle. I forgot why, and then I was like, oh shit, he's dropping an album in 2 days. Cool. Like the average person, like the casual rap fan, doesn't know who he is. Yeah. So it's not something, and he didn't really have like a hit on this album where, you know, I think like his big song was what, Dedication with Kendrick Lamar. And then he had Last Time That I Checked with YG. But like those like very like hardcore rap albums. Those aren't like
traditional like
a guy's playing or something like that, you know, where it can catch the masses there and be like, oh, what is this, you know? So I wasn't shocked, but like even like Gummo has that not Gummo, 6ix9ine has that Gummo track. And like I looked at it today on YouTube, it had 137 million views. Niggas feel.
We don't want to talk about it.
I had no idea he was from Brooklyn. Quick aside.
Quick
aside. He's from Bushwick. I had no idea.
He put up
I was with Someone went to Rage when Carl was there. I think they played the video.
Carl played it.
Yeah.
Why?
Interesting character.
And yes.
Got 6ix9ine tatted on his face. Hair's all rainbow. Got rainbow grills.
Yeah, my friend texted me like he the hottest rapper in New York. I was like just not for me.
I don't
It's just not for
that.
me.
I'm waiting for Casanova and him to fight because it's only a matter of time at this point. They have such look like they throwing shots at each other so hard on the internet, and then these songs. Set Trippin' is about Tekashi. Like allegedly.
That's his name, Tekashi.
Yeah.
69. I don't know.
6ix9ine.
Only I know about him is the Gummo track. That's it. Don't follow him.
That track with A Boogie is pretty good though.
I haven't listened.
It's alright. I kind of like A Boogie's part, and Fetty Wap's part was pretty good too.
Fetty Wap rapping still?
Baby, just another buck on the regular. That's what
He's smart though, because he definitely, I haven't heard from him in a minute.
Word.
So he's smart to get on that track with
that's
Tekashi and A Boogie.
He let out every last hit he had within the span of like 3 months.
Take all this shit, because I ain't got nothing else.
Damn.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Monique.
Speaking of Charlamagne,
Yeah.
the whole situation with Monique and that. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I think she's in the wrong. I just felt like she was in the wrong. And I felt she came out initially and said that she should be getting the same money as Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer. And Charlamagne was like, what do you think you've done to justify that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's pretty fair. You just look at the numbers. But then when I saw the interview, she started deflecting and switching the subject,
Flipping.
bringing up like discrimination and slavery, and just.
Says she's the most decorated comedian of all time. Charlamagne asked how. She got offended. She got offended. He asked how.
But even then, it's like, what are you doing for me lately? I thought like when Envy was like, this is a business. I thought it was pretty clear cut, but still, my whole thing is, why do people do that? Why?
Because you need to blame it on something. You need an excuse. You need an excuse as to why you're not getting what you think you deserve, even if it is blind, even if it is a fallacy that you're living in. Because like she sees Amy Schumer, for example, like what she get like 11 million, I think, for a Netflix special, 13 million for a Netflix special. But she just came off a world tour. She sold out like massive arenas all throughout Europe and other crazy places. So of course she gonna get 13 million. She popping right now.
Yeah.
Then you got people like Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle. They're on a whole other level. Like people.
Yeah. Every year, Chappelle in August does multiple nights, a residency at the Radio City.
And everything sell out.
Yeah.
Within minutes.
I'm talking about like over half the month's worth of dates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even a mention when he's on the road.
And Chris Rock is honestly.
He was on tour too.
He's my cup of tea, but he's just Chris Rock though.
He's Chris
Rock though.
But he came off a tour as well. Like they all have recent work they put in to justify.
He's not my cup of tea, but he's still a legend.
You said it.
Still a legend. So of course, you gonna lowball Chris Rock? Fuck out of here. Now Monique. I mean,
I would have took the 500.
but no, real talk. Like, have you ever seen a Monique stand-up special?
No.
Outside of Queens, I've seen Queens of Comedy, and even then, I wasn't like.
Nope. The Parkers. That's it.
There was no belly laughs. There was nothing like from a deep. It was like, oh okay.
Yeah.
I see that. That's cute. Exactly.
And she put up being blackballed. And I thought, remember back when was it Cat Williams? It's like every other week he was popping up like either in jail or he's like some wild video camera wound out in the store.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like you would like classify him like a type of liability.
Yeah.
But even he still got a deal.
Mm-hmm.
At least back then, but it's like you're saying you're blackballed. It's like if people want to see you and you still warrant that amount of money, you still get it.
You know, but see, Cat Williams just got a Netflix special too, Make America Great Again, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, it was pretty decent. But
Yeah,
Charlamagne made a good point. He was like, how much did Cat Williams get paid to do his special? Like, you need to be like comparing yourself to those people. Like Cat Williams, Marlon Wayne's got a new special. I haven't watched it, it's probably corny, but I'm still gonna watch it. But she needs to be comparing herself to those people. Like, how much are those people getting paid? Because I know for a fact Marlon Wayne ain't getting no $13 million to doing that because you ain't popping right now.
I'm
like
watching it.
Probably if he got anything, probably like I don't know, probably 2 mil, 1 mil. I don't even know if he got that, but I'm saying like she needs to be comparing herself to people on that level, that scale.
Yeah, I don't even know outside of the people she named who could actually come out and make a legitimate claim that they deserve that money.
That she deserved it, or like
no, that outside of the Rock, Chappelle, Amy Schumer group, who could come out and say like I'm on that level and I deserve that money?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Like what comedian?
Kevin Hart. That's it though.
Right?
That's it.
Like not even like who's like Louis C.K.'s like highly regarded. Not even.
Nah.
So that's it.
Kevin Hart would get more than that.
More than all of them.
But that, yeah, Kevin Hart would be.
You think he get more than Dave though?
Yeah.
What?
He's selling out stadiums on.
Yeah. He would probably get. They would have to literally give him a deal.
I saw he's got like $1 million a show.
Yeah. They would have to literally be like.
Yeah.
They'd have to come out like with like some stupid shit like 120 for 2 shows or some shit like that.
Yeah. Because he said he was losing when he makes movies. He's losing money.
Yep.
He's not on the road.
Yep.
That sums it up right there.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
You are, because if you think about it, he goes on tour. You got he does like 80 dates, I think. I think there's like that's extreme. I think like 60 dates, but each show pulls in over $1 million. Over $1 million, and he's going to like bumfuck Buffalo and crazy shit like that, pulling over $1 million in those places. And you come to like, the Atlantas, the New Yorks. And you come to New York, you're doing multiple shows. You're doing a show in Nassau Coliseum, one in MSG, one in Barclays. So you get million there. And that's like what, 2 months of work. Whereas you go on a movie set and you get paid $20 million, but that takes like what, 4 to 5, 6 months out of your year to do that movie. And then after the movie, you gotta do promotion, all that other stuff. So.
Damn, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. I understand it. Rich as fuck.
Fuck that.
Well, going back to Monique, it just sucks when you spread this message to like people that are really impressionable, and you equate your low ball for the like discrimination and.
Yeah.
I think she brought up Harvey Weinstein at one point in the interview, and that's just not because there's people that listen to that and they believe that, and it's two different things.
Yeah.
And your claims are just unsubstantiated. Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. That's another thing too. I hate when people throw those claims out, like especially when it comes to like discrimination or like race or anything like that. Like we gotta use that shit when it when it actually matters, like when it actually is happening to you. You just throwing it out there to see if it sticks. Where like any logical person can see that you just not worth that amount of money. Whatever. Did she ever mention what she was looking for?
No. She said they gave him an offer.
That'd be a great question.
I think he asked. He's like, "What do you think you should have got?" And
she deflected. You're right.
Because I definitely would have asked that. Like, how much you think you deserve?
And she didn't counter offer, but she thought she did.
Yeah.
Like initially, she said she did, and later on in the interview, she asked Daddy.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Who's Daddy?
Her husband. When she dropped that the first time, because he was on the phone the entire interview. So Charlamagne asked her some question. She's like, "Oh, I'll ask my husband." She said, "Daddy." I was. She did that a couple more times. It's found it odd, but
it's very odd.
Yeah, he was like, "No, we actually didn't counter offer." I was just like, "Oh."
So then what the fuck?
Because they told her take it or leave it. That's why she said that.
I highly doubt that.
Me either.
I highly doubt that. They probably said this is the offer and laid it all out for her. And she was probably so offended by that, she didn't even take it. And then you didn't even counter offer. So who's to say that she could have probably got $1 million?
And then, like, another thing too, Charlamagne brought up, like, why not tour off of this? Instead of complaining, make your money. You're going to get attraction because of this, instead of complaining about
Exactly.
Go out and do it on your own.
Go out and do it on your own, because that's what everybody else is doing.
She said she's being blackballed.
But not even that. If she, say for example, she did the $500,000, right? Take the $500,000. Get that Netflix special your all.
That's what I was thinking.
Because if you didn't get that Netflix special your all, everyone's like, "Oh shit, Monique got Netflix." Like, you know what I'm saying? If it's actually popping, then we all watch it.
And the next go around,
then everyone's looking for you. Then next go around, everyone's going to your shows, and then you out here making all this money on your 60 dates and shit like that.
Like, if anything, it was a favor to me. The way I saw it, like, you ain't making nothing. Like, she said she was doing clubs. Charlamagne was like, "What are you doing that would make you relevant?" I'm selling out clubs. Charlamagne was like, "They selling out arenas, like arenas."
And she just wouldn't answer that. And even like when Charlamagne, he was like, he says himself like the offer was a low ball.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, well, obviously 500,000 to us, the number. But even it's like, what have you done to even command that money, even outside of thinking about the number? So like, to go to your point, like take that.
Yeah.
And build a buzz.
Yeah. I don't know if that was on Breakfast Club or something else I read that she mentioned winning an Oscar. And I was like, what the fuck that got to do with you being a stand-up comedian? Like
that's what Charlamagne, everything was just like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And she brought up the movie she was in.
Precious.
Almost Christmas.
Yo, that.
No, I was like, what? Let me go look this up. Let me go on IMDb. You see about 50 names on
DC
so
Young Fly.
DC Young Fly, Omar Epps, Gabrielle Union's in that. A couple of folks is in that movie.
You a con woman for that, Monique.
a lot. Not Morgan Freeman. Danny Glover's in that.
Glover's in that. It's like, you think if you was
it's a nice little cast of people who
taking
used to
the
be
credit for
popular.
all that. Come on now, beloved. You better than this.
I was in Almost Christmas.
That movie produced 14. The movie cost 14 million. We made 23.
No,
something like that.
This movie cost 17. We made 45 million. You had like 50 people. Because she brought up Amy Schumer made a movie, I think. Snatched. But it's like Amy Schumer is the direct draw of the movie.
Yep. Whereas
I think it flopped based on budget, but I think it still did higher.
It did good.
But it didn't make a money. But even still, it's like you're 1/20th.
I had no idea Monique was in that movie until I saw that movie. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like when I looked at when I first saw that movie, the cover for it, my eyes like popped. Like, oh, Gabrielle Union's in this. And Danny Glover's in this. I was like, oh, Omar Epps. I haven't seen him in a movie in God knows how long. And it's literally like where I was thinking, oh, wow, this is a nice little cast. They got DC Young Flies. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Haven't seen this collective of people in a long time. And then I watched it. And then she was like the aunt or something like that in that movie. And I was like, oh, shit, Monique.
DC's young.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, Monique. I haven't seen her in a movie in a long time. But that was like after I actually watched the film.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, Monique says I gotta watch this. You ain't got that pull, beloved.
No, never.
She's never had that pull. Like even someone like, for example, like Cat Williams, right? He had his moment where he was killing shit. Granted, drugs and other shit like derailed him, but he had a moment where like I would say everyone in at least the United States knew at least knew who he was. At least knew who he was. They have to like him, but they knew who he was. There's people who don't know who you are. Monique, there's people who don't know who you are. I know you from the Parkers, like. That's it.
Yeah, you and Professor Ogilvy.
Outside of Queens of Comedy, I've never seen a Monique stand-up special just her by herself. No, I've ever heard anyone raving about one. And I love stand-up. I've never heard anyone raving about one, nor I've ever seen one. So that right there tells me you in over your head. I don't know what you want. Like,
yeah, I didn't think that was a good look. Then at the end, she was like, she likened Charlamagne to like a slave. What movie did she reference?
Birth of a Nation. I never seen
it either, but she referenced some scene. So I guess she was alluding to like he was a traitor in the movie.
That he brought his wife in so that the guy could rape her, I'm assuming, and then brought his wife out after he raped her, and like he's a coon.
Yeah, I was just like, damn.
And then the whole beginning too, where she's like, "Oh, would you be calling your mother Donkey of the Day, knowing what she went through in the past of racism and discrimination for being a woman? Would you say that to her?" He was like, "I do this shit every day. Like, I get Donkey of the Day. Like,
and how we going from why do you think you commanded to slay? It's just like, okay, we done.
Yep.
I can't even talk to people. It's like
that's like the ultimate reflection, though.
We good.
It's like, oh, racism, slavery. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
God bless you.
But that's the thing. It's like I want to throw it out there that I'm sure all three of us like understand that racism exists, and people are being blackballed, and things of that nature. Not everything is fair. There is discrimination in this world, but like we can't let that shit blind us to the point where we can't have a logical conversation. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, then black people don't think you should get what you deserve.
I asked you a question. Why are you talking about slavery?
Yeah.
Like, answer my question. And even the thing about deflection is like even if you reply to what I said first, and then wanted to segue that into slavery, and then I can see the connection somehow between the two. When you just jump right into slavery,
wow, left turn.
Jump right into slavery. It's like you're completely ignoring what I'm saying to you. and then you call me cool and all that stuff because I disagree with you.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like,
basically.
That's insane. Yeah, that was, she definitely was off her rockers there.
Didn't you try to use the basketball analogy too? Like, if you want Kobe on your team versus if you want, like, LeBron or something, because Kobe's...
Oh, yeah. I think he said, because he was what have you done for me lately? So it's like the cost of Kobe back when he was like, I don't know, 2012 season versus the cost of Kobe now would be a little less.
Dramatically less.
Like contract wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying that that's what she is right now in her life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like he was young, but like as a comedian, when you get older, you're more decorated. You have more like badges on your arm versus a basketball player. When they get old, they sort of die out.
I understand that, but I don't find her to be decorated.
Me either. Like they tried to use that.
I feel like getting better with age.
I know, like people like Chris Rock, he's decorated, even though like
and he's still out here.
Yeah, he's out here. And granted, he has to be because he had to pay for them fees for that divorce.
Yes.
But
damn.
But he out here though, you know. And like I haven't heard from Monique in years. It was Precious and then Almost Christmas. But as far like real talk, as far as her day to day stuff, like I know Chris Rock is touring. I see that stuff. Like when you're on SeatGeek, I'm like, oh, things that's going on around me. Chris Rock's touring. Like all these comedians are doing things. I haven't seen Monique tour. I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense for you to be acting like the world is like has this dire thirst to see your stand up.
Yeah, it's like I'm a casual comedy. I know the top speed, like I know the Chappelle's, because you can't miss them. They're like they transcend comedy. Mm-hmm. Like they intersect in pop culture. They're in movies and stuff. Yeah. Or like again, you're on SeatGeek and you see Chappelle. The moment he announced tickets, all 15 to 20 of his dates sell out like that. Out. Like you see these things. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Well, I was like, you don't see anything with Monique. Like
Monique's selling out clubs, and even I don't know personally, but I would say at least 20% of the people that are going there to her shows are just going because she's Nikki Parker.
I would say 50, because I would go just because.
I saw a clip of one of her stand-ups. This is when I was younger. I remember it. But she kept saying, I ain't no fucking Nikki Parker. Oh, might be Queens of Comedy. That's the only thing I've ever seen from her. And she was like differentiating out from herself from Nikki Parker. And I was like, yo, that's just who you are. If you have to come out and say that, that's who you are.
That's it.
That's who you are.
That's who you are. You Nikki Parker.
Right. Until she have a bomb-ass stand-up special and you blow me away. Or even a decent one. Just, I don't know who she is as a stand-up comedian. Yeah. I don't know you. You want to get some love because you. That's like Jamie Foxx requesting mad money to go do stand up. Like asking Netflix for like $20 million to do stand up. Granted, he did stand up in the past, but like, niggas ain't requesting your stand up like that. You known for your action
and you're relevant. Yeah,
and he's relevant, but just not in the comedy lane.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. You got anything else on tap?
Yeah. I'm alright. Good to see y'all.
You good? That's what you got? Huh? Y'all sure that's what y'all had?
Anything else of interest you wanted to?
We want to talk about the real fast. Well, not real fast, but what's the Fox News anchor?
Oh
yeah. Lebron and Durant. What the fuck's her name?
I didn't know what that was because I saw like a video they were in a cab or something.
Laura Ingraham. Yeah.
What was that?
Who was it?
What, when?
Yeah, like I saw it was like a video of them in a car talking about like I guess Trump and like what they feel, and then she sort of said that statement. I didn't know like what that was from. Like why did she say that?
Oh no! So basically, LeBron and Durant were basically talking about how Trump is basically not a good leader and how divisive our country is. Basically things of that nature. And she basically told them to stop talking about politics and to shut up and dribble a basketball or some shit like something along those lines. Shut up and dribble. Just
some reference to they. They always do. Yeah. The way she used the they.
Yeah. But just shut up and dribble was her line. Just shut up and dribble. But
like no, she's like they always run their mouths.
Yeah.
Ouch, that felt.
Yeah, it was like
Was it Capital Day?
It's just the way she said it.
Yeah, it was like outright.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
She knows.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, but it really was like one of those. Initially, I was like extremely taken aback. But then I was just like, yo, like this is insane, like how common this is nowadays. Like people just like with the little hint of racism, like they just like they want to like just a dash, they want to throw it on top and just see what happens.
To appeal to their base.
Yeah, to appeal to their base is like so common now. It's like, yep, I said it. Now what?
Now what?
But even then, like she was like, oh, you shouldn't stick to politics. You shouldn't be basically meddling your nose into politics. But they weren't. They didn't make one statement about politics.
That's crazy.
Like not one statement about politics. They say, oh, you gotta, change the economy or the GDP or none of that shit. They said they don't think he's a great leader, and his mechanisms and his are very divisive. The way like he speaks and the way that he handles our country is very divisive. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Nothing about that's about politics. They're not telling him how to, sign this treaty or anything like that or anything of an executive order. Everything was just strictly facts and had nothing to do with politics at all.
Yeah, I forgot how it came up in that car, but LeBron was like, when he was a kid, he would look to, I think he said a policeman, a sports, an athlete, and the president as like role models and leaders to your point, and then that's when they started talking about everything Jarel said.
Okay.
Yep.
Like again, they weren't referencing any like politics.
That's sad.
Yeah. That's Fox News. So.
That's Fox News. That's what they do. They peddle. They
They
pander to that audience.
Did she have any consequences for that, or they just?
No, that's what they do.
But meanwhile, homegirl from ESPN,
Jamel
Hill, she said that statement, and they gave her.
It's different. ESPN's a family network.
Fox News just isn't encouraged.
Yeah, this is what they do.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what they do.
Hey, you throw it out there, throw it right back.
Catch that nigga.
Yeah, but I don't spend too much time on that bitch.
Yeah.
Let her live peacefully.
Real quick, you believe Young Thug, Sex is done for the year?
It's March.
He said he's not releasing any music this year because his brother's deaf, and he's going. Basically, in honor of his brother, he's not releasing any music this year. You believe sex?
It's the opposite of inspiration.
How does that make sense?
Yo,
don't shoot the messenger.
Grief. I'm gonna chalk it up to grief.
She calls them drugs.
I'm gonna say nah. I'm gonna say nah. He's still gonna put out some tracks.
I think so too.
I do too. It's a setup for something.
I feel like he's gonna say, "Well, I said I'm not, but I'm Sex, so Sex is gonna put out music."
Young Thug might though.
Yeah, Young Thug might start talking to himself in third person. I don't know. I ain't ready for no Young Thug or Sex anyway.
What?
Yeah, you on your own there. Whatever you need.
I don't want to hear what he has to say.
Nah, you gotta check out the
Private first, yeah.
Go back into
Easy Breezy is fire, but I don't know. He changed his name to Sex.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to question him too.
Yeah, what he call himself, what he dressed up as. Once you press play.
That shit fire.
Nah, I'm gonna go home and listen to Barter 6 though. That shit is fire.
Oh man. Alright, I think that's it for this week though.
Yeah. Oh, and salute Drake. That's about it.
Yeah, Drake. Guys playing that shit was fire.
Summer 18.
Can't wait. Yeah. But thank you guys for listening to the podcast. As always, make sure you rate, share, subscribe. Check out the YouTube page. We got full length episodes on there now. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Alright, this is it. Thank you again. This is Coolin out.
Stay cool.
I gotta run